Good morning. The time is now 10:08 a.m. and a quorum of the board is present. The State Board of Education special meeting of April 5th, 2019 is called to order. The first item on the agenda is approval of the agenda in order of priority. May I please have a motion to approve the agenda in order of priority?
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The motion carries. Thank you. Marilyn, please introduce the members of the State Board of Education.
I will. To my immediate left is Cassandra Albrecht. She's the president of the board. Do we really want to, do we all know each other? I mean, there's no audience.
Oh, there's no audio?
I don't know.
There's no video? Yeah,
We are live
Okay,
streaming.
yes,
That's right. Sorry out there in video land. Cassandra Albrecht, president of the board. She's serving as chairperson at today's meeting, and she resides in Rochester Hills. And next to her is Pam Pugh. Pam is on her way. She's from Saginaw. She's the board's vice president. The board's secretary is Michelle Fecto, and she's from Detroit. And Nikki Snyder.
Hey.
Oh, okay. Nikki Snyder waving, so is Michelle now, I guess.
Sorry.
And she's from Dexter. She's a member of the board. We go across the table. Judy Pritchett is here, and she's from Washington Township. She's a board member. Lupe Ramos-Montini from Grand Rapids.
Hello.
She's a board member. Next to me is Tom McMillan. He's the board's treasurer, and he's from Oakland Township. I'm Marilyn Schneider. I'm the state board executive, and we are also awaiting the arrival of Tiffany Tilley from Southfield. She's a board member. So Tiffany and Pam are on their way.
Would our guests like to introduce themselves?
Yes.
Honored to be here today. I'm Marty Ackley. I'm the director in the Office of Public and Governmental Affairs here at the Department of Education.
I'm Ryan Ray, president of Ray and Associates.
I'm Mike Collins, associate with Ray and Associates.
Okay, great. For public participation, I don't see anyone here to participate, but for everyone else, if you plan to offer public comment at today's meeting, there are forms available on
Right
the back
out.
table.
Yep.
Please complete a form and get it to Marilyn. Okay, so next item on the agenda is discussion and review of applications for the position of Superintendent of Public Instruction. As you know, this is probably one of the most important jobs that the State Board of Education does, is to hire and fire the state superintendent. We have an opening because of, unfortunately, our last superintendent passed away in office. And we thank Sheila Alice, who has been serving as interim superintendent ever since that date, and will continue to serve until the new superintendent takes over when we agree on a contract and a start date. So with that, I would like to welcome Ryan Ray and Mike Collins to provide an update on the search.
Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. We started this relationship, I think, originally in October and then in appearances in November. So through all this time, we have received in your behalf originally a total of 53 applications. 2 people withdrew like a week to 10 days later, so the total for consideration is 51. We will be reviewing those. From that review, we anticipate that you will select those that you want to begin, that you want to interview initially, what I call the semifinal round. Right now, as you set, the schedule would be is those interviews would be on April 17th with an anticipated date of April 24th to re-interview your finalists. That's what we've been operating under. If you recall the original timeline that you looked at in November and adopted, I think in December or January, it might be January, showed that our intent was to put you in a position to make your selection by the end of April. We are on schedule to do that. And we're excited for you about the quality, particularly the quality of candidates that we feel are really worthy of your consideration. Nobody can be necessarily replaced, but I think it'll give you a great opportunity to move forward with quality new leadership.
Depending on the number of candidates that we choose today to move forward, my assumption is we will probably have to add at least another day to the process, just because of, there's only so many hours in the day for interviews, and if we assume an hour and a half for an interview, obviously we can't get a whole lot in one day. So we will look at our calendars today and decide what those best days are. Just for the record, has any of the 51 candidates not requested confidentiality?
Oh, they've all requested it.
Okay.
They also are aware at some point, because, you know, laws are different in each state, that when the law requires, you will release those names, and they're aware that can occur. And we've had that conversation, at least with those that we feel are worthy of your extra consideration, have all been contacted about that even as recently as yesterday.
Right. And they all are aware to keep their phones on them because they know that we will be calling them later on today.
So because all of the candidates have requested confidentiality, we can go into a closed session to review all of the candidates. We do not have to discuss any of the candidates initially in open meeting as a result of their request. So is there anything else that you want to add?
No.
No, we're good to go.
Could
Okay, yes.
Madam President, could you go through, he mentioned that he'll be making calls, but what you had told me before, that when we come out, we're actually going to give the names
That is-
after they've said, yeah, go ahead and give my name. So today, just in
Correct.
case there's people watching or something.
Yes. Today, when we finalize our work in closed session, we will have identified a set number of candidates, although we do not know what that set number is yet. And assuming that they are all comfortable with moving forward, their names will become public by the end of our meeting today. Any other questions? Yes.
Well, what you just said, if they feel comfortable, we'll move on. They're gonna tell us if we move, if they don't feel comfortable, we don't move on. Say what you mean?
Do you want to explain? So what our search firm has done is reached out to them and told them that there's a possibility that if they move forward today, their name becomes public. So they can say, if they say, you know what, I don't want my name to become public, then they're no longer a candidate for the
Right,
position.
okay.
So, right. So assuming nobody says, you know what, never mind, I don't want to be public, it will become public by the end of our meeting, who the next level of candidates are.
Okay. Thank you.
If I may, it gives them an opportunity, particularly if it's someone that we haven't contacted, it gives them an opportunity to withdraw themselves before their name is mentioned. That's all. It's a courtesy to the applicant.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, may I please have a motion and a second to meet in closed session to review applications of individuals who have requested confidentiality as provided in Michigan compiled laws 15.268, Section 8F of the Open Meetings Act.
Or
It's been moved and supported. Marilyn, please take a roll call vote.
Vecto,
Yes.
McMillan,
yes.
Pritchett,
Yes.
Pugh is absent, Ramos Montini,
Yes.
Snyder,
Yes.
Tilly is absent, Albridge,
Yes.
passes.
The motion passes. Immediately following adjournment of closed session, we will reconvene in an open session here in the State Board meeting room.
We don't know when that would be.
No, but based on what the process was last time, I think it took roughly 3 hours.
Oh.
However,
It might take longer.
No, I was just looking at it.
okay, and with that, we will exit and adjourn to a closed session meeting.
Try.
Good afternoon. The time is now 1:55 p.m. and a quorum of the board is present. The State Board of Education special meeting of April 5th, 2019 is called to order. The next item on our agenda is discussion of the next steps in interview process. I just want to say, first of all, thank you to Ray and Associates for all the work that you've done so far. We had 51 applications for the state superintendent. The State Board of Education went through literally each application. And first of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone who applied. We had an immense number of highly qualified candidates from all different walks of life, all different states. You know, they weren't all just from Michigan. Various levels of employment history, education, experience, knowledge, and it was a really tough decision. We went through every application and ended up having to have some voice votes on some of them because it was hard to narrow down the list. So thank you to everyone who took the time to apply, is interested in the future of education in Michigan. And we hope that everyone, regardless of whether or not they're being brought back for the first round interviews or not, will continue to show that same level of passion and concern for the kids in the state of Michigan. With that being said, do you have anything else that you would like to add before we announce the next round?
Just a couple of footnotes for breadth's sake, as they will. So we reached out to announce this through various means that you approved and also through our associates. So the announcement of the position was run throughout all 50 states and 23 other countries or provinces, et cetera, were made aware.
Yeah, all 50 states.
District of Columbia and then provinces.
Yep, and outside of the United States as well. Over 1,500 contacts were made by Ray and Associates.
Yeah, and you wound up with, of the 51 candidates, 11 states were represented beyond the state of Michigan. Obviously, more than one in different states. So the breadth of the search was significant, and a credit to you to want to do that. And we're excited for you in terms of what's in front of you. And in all honesty, part of our job, as I said to Cassandra earlier, is to make this more and more difficult for you, and we hope to do that.
You have. Before we announce who we'll be bringing back for first round interviews, does anyone else from the board have anything you'd like to add or say? Okay. So I will ask for a motion, but before I do, let me just say that we are inviting 5 applicants to interview for the state superintendent position. And they are in no particular order. Brenda Casilius, who is the immediate past Minnesota Commissioner of Education. Jenny Swift, who is the superintendent of Ann Arbor Schools. G. Eric Thomas, who is the Chief Turnaround Officer for the Georgia Board of Education. Randy Liepa, sorry, I'm sure I mispronounced that name, Superintendent for Wayne Risa. And Michael Rice, the Superintendent for Kalamazoo Public Schools. May I please have a motion and a second to invite those applicants to interview as semifinalist candidates for the position of Superintendent of Public Instruction?
So moved. Support.
It's been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed say nay. The motion carries. So thank you to the board and to Ryan and Mike. Just a few next steps that we need to talk about as well. We had identified 2 dates for interviews. However, one of those dates is not going to work. So I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the following special meeting dates. We are not going to meet on April 17th. Instead, April 22nd at 11:30 to interview 2 candidates. April 24th at 9:30 to interview 3 candidates and for deliberation. And then May 7th at 9:30 for second round interviews and hopefully a decision. Can I have a motion to approve those special meeting dates?
So moved. Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion?
Well, just to say that, to clarify that all those will be in the public. All those will be open.
Those are all public open meetings.
Right.
In this
Yes,
room.
in this room. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Finally, I would like to have a motion to have the board president work with Ray and Associates to finalize the interview questions, which will, once complete, be shared with the candidates through Ray and Associates prior to the interview. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Marilyn, are there any individuals who would like to be addressed at the board meeting today?
I don't have any public participation forms. Are there any public participation forms? Seeing none, there are no individuals who wish to address the board during public participation today.
Thank you. So future meeting dates, our next regular meeting will be Tuesday, April 9th at 9:30 a.m. Here in Lansing. And then our special meeting, the next special meeting will be April 22nd at 11:30, also here, followed by April 24th at 9:30, also here, and then May 7th at 9:30 a.m., also here, and then followed by a regular meeting on Tuesday, May 14th at 9:30, and then Wednesday, May 22nd will be the board retreat. Are there any further comments from board members? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved and supported. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Thank you.